Okay, so Lee, you're
Sure.
Okay, my first question is she playing? Is she going to play this year?
No.
Okay.
She has national team commitments in China, but she's 19 years old and won't turn 20 till, or maybe just turn 20. So she's someone we project out as a real asset long term rather than a short term situation.
So I feel like most people probably don't know or never seen her play. What drew you to her?
She really has, she's 6'7", really broad, good size, but runs the floor well for her size. And beyond that, she really can stretch the floor all the way to the arc. Has had an incredible year in China playing in their Chinese league. So, and then is a big part of the future of their national team program.
Okay, I have to write down my questions. Okay, so what pieces? Oh, I did have a question. You mentioned the last year you have a first round pick, and I was wondering. It said it went to the Chicago Sky. Like, was that for a previous trade? It
was a trade. The year before I got the job, they traded Amani McGee Stafford to the Dream with Tamara Young. So it was a 2-player trade for Atlanta's first-round pick. And when Atlanta's season kind of ended a little rough that year, it turned that pick into a really high pick. So that pick turned into Diamond DeShields for Chicago. Mm-hmm. So it worked out well for them.
Okay, and your overall thoughts on this draft? I know your goal is to get the player you want, but what pieces or what needs are you trying to fill with this draft?
I think, everybody I talked to pre-draft, this draft for us was about the ability to keep stretching the floor and getting better offensively. We know we have the pieces in place to be a good defensive team, so continuing to kind of stretch and broaden, finish out our roster in a little bit different way. So we feel like with a post who has the ability to stretch to the perimeter a little bit, is good in dribble handoffs, good in the high-low, will run the floor, gives us 6'5", but a little bit different than anything we have. So that was important to us. As much as we love Brianna Turner, she was a little similar to Monique Billings for us, and so we didn't really want to duplicate. Both are really, really talented players. So, we wanted to go that way. So we felt good about that. And then with Cazorla, she's just a pro. I mean, she's been playing almost like professional basketball since she was 14. She's from the Canary Islands, but went to school in Barcelona, so was in boarding school by 14, changed countries at 18, just unbelievable in pick and roll situations. This is a pick and roll league. We want to continue to get better at it, and she shot over 40% from 3. So as a staff, we're very analytical, and we're pretty much analytical nerds. And so when you looked at her stats across the board, from effective field goal percentage to points per shot, all those statistics, she was as good as anybody in this draft.
So I know it's just the draft just ended, but what's next? I know y'all are.
Yeah, we're working. So we're already in there going, okay, we have a couple spots left for training camp contracts, so we're already on the phone with agents, we're on the phone with players to see if we can't finalize camp, because we can have 15 in camp. Players that may not have a realistic chance to make the team, but players that are important to us as we get players back from overseas, or just to give us some depth in training camp. So we're kind of still in that phase, and then we'll start to kind of slow down and get in touch with these players' agents and make the moves that we have to make. We drafted an international player in Cazorla, so we'll start tomorrow on a work visa and things like that. So there's always a next step even after the draft. Come on, you got another question.
So what surprised you about the draft?
I don't think there were a lot of surprises, to be honest with you. I think when you looked at our overall draft board and who we thought were kind of those top 30 players, there's no one really that didn't get drafted. So it's not a big surprise. Sometimes I think the where players went, a little bit of a surprise, but certainly not at the top. We really thought Young was going to go to Vegas. We've been saying that since she said she was coming into the draft. As soon as Ionescu wasn't on the board, I think Young was the obvious potential best pro prospect. And then Asia Dur, with New York not re-signing Epiphany Prince, right away Asia Dur goes in there and can have a commanding role there. So they get younger and is really pro ready. So I think at the top it was exactly how we planned. I think in the middle there was a little question, but I think the players that we thought would go early went.
Okay, and with a lot of teams opting to choose some of those individuals who may be from nearby universities or hometowns. Is that something that moving forward the Atlanta Dream is looking for, maybe with players possibly from the Georgia Tech or from Florida, South Carolina, anything like that? Do you have any?
Absolutely, we're always going to look at that, but at the end of the day, my job is to win games, and so I'm going to draft players that we feel like fit our system best, that fit our roster the best, that fill holes the right way. And so as important as that is, I think that this is an Atlanta community that is going to support a winner. And, so our job is to win basketball games, to put a good product on the floor. So yeah, we're always going to factor that in. We would have loved to have had Asia Dur, like she's from right here in Atlanta, but that wasn't going to play out that way. So, we're always going to look at that, but we're going to choose players based on what needs we have over necessarily what they call their hometown or their home university.
Okay, and a last question from me. Going into, I guess now, State Farm Arena, moving from McCamish, different atmosphere, different environment. A lot of the players on your team currently never played in this building. What is it that you're excited about moving into this venue?
I think it's just, from back of house to overall experience. I think the players that are here that have played in there are thrilled to go back. I think for the players who haven't, they're going to be overwhelmed at just how nice it is and kind of the experience. I mean, it just really feels, when we talk about how these players move from college where they're chartering and they have all these things and they move to our league and it gets questioned all the time. There isn't a team in the country that plays in college in a facility as nice as State Farm Arena. So I think it makes them feel like they've made it almost, like it really feels like a true pro experience. And I think it's fan friendly. So I think we're excited about what that means for our fans, being able to take Marta right in. And, it's kind of like I would basically tell them at this point, there's no more excuses. There's no more it's raining. There's no more there's parking problems. There just aren't any excuses. They can find their way to State Farm pretty easily.
All right, and I'm saying last, but I have one more question.
No problem.
Is there a specific timetable on Angel's return, or will she be ready to go ahead and start the season?
Yeah, she will not be ready to start the season. There's no question about that. She's making progress. That's all we can do. It's a strength thing. She's got full range of motion, but it's a day-by-day process. Anyone who's been through rehab, Angel's not 25 anymore. And we're just letting her body respond. She's hard at work, at P3 here in town and Emory, which is a great partner of ours. So she's doing a really good job of working to get back, but she's taking it day by day and she's getting stronger. So it's all about quad strength at this point. All right.